This is Trabr. We're creating the technology and the ecosystem for everything building. We're creating a market network which boasts a marketplace and a mobile-first, cloud-based suite of project control tools for builders, consumers, trades, suppliers, for everybody. All on the smartphone, all remote, all mobile, all for building. This is Trabr, and this is a building conversation. So good afternoon, this is Tony Huxley from Trabr Limited. I'm delighted to welcome you today, and I'm joined by Blandin de Chalin from BDC Building Services. G'day, Brett.
G'day, how are you?
I'm really good. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate you making the time to do so today.
Not a problem.
So moving on to another issue that I wanted to bring up. It's often said that the best business relationships are the ones that you regard as a partnership. And I get that that's a mindset more than it is a literal thing, because building contracts are anything but a partnership. But given the scope and scale and value of home building work that you're in, or home renovation work that you're in, do you think that partnerships is a real thing in customer relationships today, or is it a changing thing, or is it an opportunity for building, or is it something that you use in your approach to relationships with customers?
Building partnership? Or
building a partnership with your clients.
Building a partnership with the clients, 100%. If
let me jump back to something you said before about a client when COVID-19 just about happened, or literally the next day, and he pulled you aside and said, look, all the money's sorted out, the finances there, I need you to rest easy and let's get rip into it 100%. See, to me, that's
respectful.
An indication of a partnership, because 100%. He respects you enough to say, we're in this together. Do you know what I mean?
100%. And that's the same type of bloke that he'll say, what do you think about this idea? And I'll go, it's stupid.
Yeah. And he'll respect it because...
Yeah, exactly. Why and what do you think? And I'll give him my honest to Bob. And definitely big relationship thing. Yeah, whereas another past client wants to do X for his wine cellar, for example. What do you want to do? I said, well, we've got great materials on site, recycle them. We will build your wine cellar for you if you give me a bit of flexibility. These are my ideas, and if you let us go, it'll be fantastic if you trust me. And he did, and he loves it. Fantastic.
Yeah, excellent.
His favourite part of his house is his wine cellar. So things like that.
I often hear that's the case, though, Brett, to be fair, because most people love their wine cellars. Yeah. So on the flip side of that, what do you consider to be like the key pain points of any builder's relationship with home renovating consumers?
Pain points. Okay, so there'll be a few of them.
Well,
if a client comes across,
we're here to listen to them.
If he comes across as not being honest with you, that puts me at ease straight away, and I think, okay, how am I supposed to do everything I can for you if you're not being honest with me?
Yeah,
that's one. When they withhold payments for a reason that you just shake your head for, and you come home and you talk to your wife about it, and it puts your family into a different...
You're carrying all the risk.
Yep. It puts your family into a just a turmoil. You just think, why am I carrying this risk to build this person a lovely house so he can live for the rest of his life? Why do I care over what I should?
Yeah.
So when people have distrust, that's pretty much... I don't know if they distrust me, but it's more the fact of they're not honest with me. That's where I struggle. Yeah. That's the biggest part for me. Getting through the contract is good. There's always a difficult part when they see you start and everything goes really quick. They're happy with you. You're the best person in the world. When it gets to the part where you start putting it back together, they're happy. When it slows down, when you go back inside and start to finish up all the internal parts, it doesn't go so fast.
All the detail stuff.
And then you go into that, I want to be in my house, and you go, your house is not ready. It looks like it's getting there, but you've got a lot of things to do before it's completed, and it just happens every job.
I guess it's all about expectations, though.
Managing people's expectations, 100%. That's that is my biggest challenge, I reckon.
So then is the answer to that simply that fundamental C word, communication?
Communication, honesty, and hit him with what's honest, what's reality. You're not going to be in here for a while, and sometimes it's going to cost you more because of these reasons. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Expectations and keeping people communicated with there.
Any other pain points on top of them? I mean, that's enough.
Trades, every trades, plumber, electrician, they're running their own business as such, you know. So they've got their own cash flow issues, family issues. So to have a beautiful schedule where you go and at the start you give your architect the schedule, they go, okay, no probs, these are the dates things are going to happen. The electrician rings up, my kid's broke his leg, or honest, I don't have the
dog
cash
ate
flow.
my homework. Yeah.
100%. And those, I was saying to one of the boys at work, when you're trying to, if you're a manager, as some of the people you work for are, they own companies and things, they're managing people that are, they're paid wages. They pretty well can get them when they want to do what they want. Whereas we're contracting a lot of people that are their own business, that have their own point of views, their own hierarchical of things to tick off. So sometimes you don't get what you want when you want. So
conflict of interest, maybe.
Yep. And when someone steps outside your schedule, it's just a chain effect. It just wrecks a lot of
the
things.
Domino effect.
Yep. So to have those contingencies of time is what's important, I think. So
does that then mean that people have unreasonable expectations, or is that on you? And I'm not saying this is the case. Is as a question? Is that on you about how you communicate the contract, the framework of the contract, the conditions of the contract? Is that on you?
Yeah, I'll be honest too. I have quite high standards, and I expect to get through things as quick as I can, and honestly, as quick as I can. Which is, if someone says to me how long, I'll tell them my honest opinion, and in my mind I'll go, contingency of. But once again, I should allow more, because things happen, and 90% of the time it's not my doing, and it's just the way you have to deal with it.
And I guess that comes back to what you were saying earlier about the customers being frank and open with you as you are with them.
Yep.
If all the cards are on the table, well, then if things do go bump in the night, or something changes, or the timeline blows out, then it's a discussion, not an argument.
Yeah, and I try to parallel a couple of trades. So if I'll have two plumbers, two electricians, and be open with them that there are another trade.
Yep.
If things happen, I will quickly swivel to someone and try and use them. However, plumbers need to certify their work, electricians need to certify their work.
Indeed.
So to pull someone else in can create
halfway, and to pick up that expectation.
How do I certify their work? Things like that. That's quite a difficult part to get, just to correlate those things and make it work. That's hard sometimes.
So communication. It's a big part of the mix, isn't it?
Communication is big, and justification of time. Weather days, people go, oh, you're not at work today. It's raining. Oh, but it's clear now. That's great. It's clear now, but it wasn't at 5 o'clock this morning when I was trying to make a decision of sending 4 blokes, 5 blokes there, 3 blokes there. So that is something that gets me a bit of a...
But I guess that's an expectation thing, because if people... And, it's like... if I take my car to get serviced, I mean, I know there's something under the hood, but I wouldn't know what the hell it is, or what to do with it. So I leave it to someone that knows what they're doing to fix it. But similarly, I probably don't know the right questions to ask in that sense. So with building, consumers, they probably don't know what to ask. And I guess they don't understand that, well, at 6 o'clock you had to make a weather call.
Yeah.
So, is it expectations? Are their expectations are unreasonable? Is that sort of more the contemporary...
I don't think their expectations are unreasonable at all. It's just the fact that a lot of people like to sub-manage. I think these days a lot of people are managers, and a lot of people have learnt quite professionally to sub-manage.
And micromanage.
And then micromanage in an office environment is very different to a building
just a little
site.
bit.
So
just a little bit.
There are things that sometimes you just have to be straightforward and say, sorry, when I'm up at 5 o'clock in the morning trying to decide of where 10 blokes go,
Yeah.
if it's raining, if the rain's falling from the sky, it's going to be called a rain day. And
Yeah.
that's just the way that it has to be. So
I get it. Brett Blandin de Chalin from BDC Building Services, thanks so much for making the time to join us. I really appreciate it.
thank you. Much welcomed anytime.
Good on you.
Cheers.